Thank you all for being here today and joining our webinar. I want to note that this is really focused towards CoreApp's tools and sort of our total solution. You're going to find that as we kind of go through this, that while I'm talking about our tech and our tools, that and the usage of those and the tips that we do are really geared towards tech, but you also find that this can also be used for promoting your event and other things. You know, I want you to think out of the box a little bit and keep your mind open to this not being just technology oriented in what we're talking about today. But first thing we need to talk about, and the area that we need to focus on and decide what tools we'll use and who to use them for. And then after that, we're going to define who the stakeholders are, because I think that's an important part that we always try and figure out who we're trying to gear our technology towards, what are their needs and uses with regards to this, and how we drive the ROI around that particular part. And then obviously we need to set goals, right? We need to figure out what our goals are going to be to know whether we're successful and how that will affect what we're trying to do there. And then, of course, we need to have adoption of the technology, right? That's one of the most important parts, that usability of our technology, how it's going to be used within your particular event across the board. And today we're really going to focus, as Carrie mentioned, there's a part 1 and a part 2, and I tried to put this together so that it was one of those things where we could maybe do it all in one, but it's kind of hard to do in an hour's time. And I think what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll talk about the other stakeholders for part 2 and kind of get into that. And I'm also looking for your feedback to help me out for setting up part 2 of this and what we can do, you know, to move forward. And then at the end of the day, we need to measure our success, right? So that's the measurement standard by which we'll set aside and kind of put up in there. Carrie mentioned the playbook. I'm going to refer to that as we go through. So if you get a chance and you want to download that, she's going to put that up there, and you can download that at the end of this. So the first thing that we have to do is really sort of define ROI. And you know, I put this up here because ROI doesn't always mean money. I know a lot of people always think that return on investment means dollars, and it really doesn't. I mean, I copied this definition directly off the net: a performance measure used to evaluate the efficiency of an investment or to compare the efficiency of a number of different investments. It doesn't mention dollars in here. Obviously, at the end of the day, money drives a lot of things, but in this particular case, as we go through here, you know, you might be looking to increase engagement, you might be looking to do things with the total solution to save you dollars and be more efficient. It could be, a lot of different things that ROI will mean to you. And for each portion of the stakeholders, different ROIs that will come across there for you as well. So who are the stakeholders? And you know, you can see this little pyramid we did here over on the right-hand side with attendees, exhibitors, and organizers. And the fact is that, you know, depending on who I talk to, many people would probably say to me they think maybe exhibitors should be on top and be the most important, and the attendees would be in the middle. But depending on what type of event you have, you may not even have exhibitors. It may simply just be a conference where it is nothing more than the attendees, and then, of course, you, the organizers. So I put exhibitors in the middle here with the idea that no matter what type of event you have, what drives that event is the attendees. Even if you have a trade show where you have exhibitors or sponsors, the reason that they come is because of the attendees. So those are what I consider to be the stakeholders here. And you know, we're going to come up with tools and tips and everything that we can to help you market to each one of these your technology to drive that return on investment. So each stakeholder should have a goal. I mentioned that before as we go through this, now that we've sort of defined that here. So we set a goal to measure and evaluate your return on investment for each stakeholder. And the key here in my mind is to write this down. What are your goals for the attendees? What are your goals for the exhibitor? What are the goals for you as the organizer? I think you guys forget about yourselves a lot of times. And the fact is that us as your technology vendor, we don't forget about you at all. We want to make sure that you're just as happy as the other two. But there's also an important part for you there too, because you have an event that you're trying to put on. And I think the key here is to make sure that you get something out of this as well, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that in part 2, but I just wanted to mention that here as well. So we'll go through these tools today on the attendee side. We'll talk a little bit about the exhibitor, but don't forget about you, the organizer. Okay, so the first thing we need to look at is adoption of the tech. And this up at the top that I put here, make it easy to find your tech. It's all about that, right? Each one of these items that I'm going to list out here for you need to work in conjunction with one another. But the fact is that you want to make it easy to find your tech. And the first thing is download. That's whether you're downloading a mobile app or you're downloading something to a link or something of that nature to get you into the website. In this particular case here, I've kind of got some graphics that are really talking about Android and Apple. We make it very easy for you to figure out what the keywords are for people who are searching for your particular technology that is out there in the Apple Store or in the Android store. So a little bit focused here on the mobile app side, but the fact is that we want to make this very easy for you people to find if they don't have a link, if they don't have other things, which I'm going to go through here in a minute. But the fact is that we want to make it very easy for them to find and download your tech, right? Access to your tech. We want to make it easy and intuitive to access the content inside of your tech. The fact is that we don't get the opportunity, and neither do you, to sit down with the thousands of people or the hundreds of people that you have coming to your event, and we want to make sure that they can pick up, whether it's getting onto your website and using, something that has a list of the schedule of the events and building their schedule ahead of time, looking at sessions, looking at speakers, matchmaking with the exhibitors that are out there, communicating with other attendees, using the mobile app and the content inside of all of that. All of that is very important to make that intuitive to access and do that. And that's something that we work very hard and concentrate on to help you with that and setting that up. Then after that, we want to make sure it fits all the platforms, right? So we've got HTML, we've got Apple, Android, we've got BlackBerry, we've got Windows, we've got Safari, we've got Chrome, we've got all these different other ones that are out there. We want to make sure that we don't leave anybody out, that we hit all the platforms, right? Because the adoption portion of this is one of the most important parts to you achieving your return on investment and driving that ROI. Clickable links. These are so easy to do. We're happy to help you with these things. Download your app here. Click on the here. This is something that will help you drive the adoption of your tech. If you just have these clickable links, have them all over the place, put them in your emails. We're going to talk about ways to do this on the next slide, but clickable links are one of the easiest ways to get adoption of your technology into your website, into your event management software, into your registration software, into your mobile app, all of those things. And QR codes. People say QR codes are sort of passé. They're past. You don't see as much. I got to tell you, it's one of the most easiest ways for people to get access and adopt your technology by just having QR codes. And while we're just showing you a plain QR code that's there, you can go out to the website. We'll absolutely help you with this. Your account manager, your sales manager, any one of those will help you generate a QR code. And you can actually make these QR codes here your brand. It doesn't just have to be this black thing like that. I've seen it with the McDonald's logo perched around it. I've seen it with many other things. So if you want to do something cool, tell us. We're happy to help you get that done and put that QR code out there. We generate the QR codes for you today. Those QR codes can take you to almost anywhere, any of your technology that's out there. So don't forget about that, because it makes it very easy than someone trying to type in something or spelling. If you type like me on your phone, you know, it's always typoed. And then the last thing, the total solution. That's one of the things that we are preaching to our customers, having more and more customers moving over to our products from a total solution standpoint, because we have the ability to make their life more efficient. But one of the other things, in my opinion, for adoption of the tech is to have one central theme. You guys create this cool theme on your websites. I see it all the time. And what we want to do is have the event management software portion of that reflect that same theme, and we do that all the time. Then reflect that same theme into your mobile app, into the wayfinders. The reason we do that is we don't want this to be foreign to your users. We don't want them to feel that they've left your website, your original theme. It brings about a sense of comfort. It brings about more usage because of that. They feel confident across the board with that. So if you can do that, I think that's the key there. Okay, so how will you promote it, right? These are just going to be some of the typical ones that everybody uses. I'm just going to whip through these here, talk a little bit about them, and then we can kind of move into some other things that I have in mind. So emails and newsletters here. Just an example of our email newsletter that we send out. I'm sure you guys all do that. I can't tell you how many of them that I see that go out and there's no promotion of your technology, no promotion of the website, no promotion of how to get in to do the different things that you're talking about, or how to download the mobile app. And if you do this in your newsletter and emails, graphics help. This little graphic here that we did with the picture of the phone, people relate to that. It's very quick. Oh, they're talking about a mobile app. Okay, I got it. Yep, this is where I would go to find it very easily on your newsletter to download the mobile app, or this is where I would go very easily to get into the website because there's a little screenshot of a website. We just tend to forget these simple little tips and tools. So I think this is one of those things where if you're doing a newsletter, don't forget about that to promote your tech. Your website. On your website, all over, not just in one place, not hidden in a little corner. Put in there things for being able to promote your tech. If you've got a mobile app that's going on, if you're doing other things within your website into the event management side, you want to promote that. You want to put that out there on your website. On-site here. This was a great sample, and if we have anybody on from IAFC or Firehouse from Southcom, this came from them, and they did a great job with it. You'll notice here that a couple of things that people tend to forget about, and that's the reason that I picked this. They've got the QR code in 2 different places, so people can come up and scan that, get right to the mobile app. There's also a picture of the mobile app that's on here. We see these a lot of times where it's nothing but text. People ignore the text. They see the mobile app. They see the logo of the Firehouse Expo that's sitting here. Hats off to Southcom on this, because it was very easy to recognize what was going on this particular sign, you know, to walk up here. And here's one of the other things that they did that I really like, and you should do this as well. Download the app too. And this here, if you can actually see it, is a list of features to entice people to actually looking forward to using the mobile app and what's a part of it. So great sign, on-site usage. I will tell you this, it tends to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 55 to 60% of the people from your mobile app side download the mobile app when they get to the event. So if you have on-site signs there, you're going to get more and more of your downloads, more adoption of this. Telling people what they can do inside of it will help your usage. OnSite, you can even do these, and I've actually seen someone, and I didn't have a screenshot of it, I apologize, but I've actually seen people do this to actually promote back their website for after the event is over with, to see pictures from the events and things that happened at the events, and getting back maybe sessions that have been recorded and all of those types of things. So don't forget about your on-site signage. I think it's very important, and it will absolutely help you achieve the return on investment that you're trying to do from your technology and the things that you're doing at your event. Staff email signatures. So simple to have your staff do this. You can see this is Carrie's signature here. It's a quick link, download the mobile app. This could be a click for getting to your website, for registering for your event, for getting into the event management software to be able to do matchmaking or whatever it is that you're doing there. So don't forget email staff signatures. I don't see that on many of the staff that we see, but we want to definitely help promote that. One of the ways that I tested that was this year at 4th of July, we took our core apps logo and we created that into a red, white, and blue stars and stripes kind of logo. It was really nice. Carrie did a great job with it. And we all put it on our signature and sent it out. I can't tell you how many people commented on us that they saw that and noticed it and thought it was a great idea. So I wasn't expecting that, but based on the feedback that I got, it's like people do look at signatures. They do look at that particular piece. And it's another way for you just to promote the adoption of your technology to help drive your ROI. Social media, you guys, I'm sure you've all thought about that. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, you need to have a campaign on that side to promote your tech as much as you need to promote your event. Make it a part of every one of those things, and it will really help drive that on that side. People who are typically using this type of social media are doing it on a mobile phone or even their computer, and it makes it very easy for them at that particular point, especially if you're putting in clickable links for them to be able to just click right on that and take them to your site to register, take them to your site to build their schedule, do all those things, reminding them. And then press releases, if you're doing it, nothing wrong with doing a press release on your technology, promoting, your website this year. You're going to have matchmaking as part of it, or here's, how you go into, you're going to be building your schedules ahead of time before your event. All of those types of things will really help you in a press release. So outside the norm. On the exhibitor side, this is one of those things that I think many people tend to forget about, and I don't want you to forget it, and the reason that I put it in here is the first thing is on the exhibitor side, let's generate a QR code. Using your exhibitors to promote your technology and to promote your event is one of the wisest things that you can do, because what you've done is however many exhibitors that you have coming in, I'm really speaking more towards the shows that have expos at this point, but it could be sponsors as well. Having them have this type of information, and I'm going to put up here the logo badge thing because I'm going to get into that in a second. Having them have and giving them the ability to put this on their websites is bringing in all of their particular potential attendees for your event. They're your customers as well. And it's like hiring someone else to do all the selling for you, but it costs you nothing. So what we've done with people before, and you can certainly talk to our account managers or our sales reps, and we'll be happy to design something for you. But here's something that Carrie did here, and it says, we'll be attending the IAE Expo. Visit us at booth 1124. Click here to download the 2015 show app. This could be click here to register. This could be a lot of different things to take them into your technology. Create a template like this. Give them the ability to get to this template or request this template from you. And you guys just build it so that all you have to add before you send it over to them, it'll take you less than 5 minutes to do. Visit us at booth number so-and-so. You're going to put their booth number in there. It's the same one that'll be there. They'll put it up on their website. You know, their customers that are going in, your potential attendees will be seeing that on the website. And this really gives a nice opportunity for you to help promote the exhibitor to promote your event, the exhibitor to promote your technology that you're using there, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Very easy to use and put out there. And then the last thing I want to mention is Exhibitor Invitations. If you haven't used that particular tool that we have on our Go Expo product that's there, it is a wonderful tool that can help your exhibitors basically upload a list of their attendees. If you charge for people to come to your event, you can offer them a discount. If it's free, that's fine. You can make this a competition with the exhibitors, who uploads the most and has the most response that comes back, because we measure each one of these invitations that go out. And then when the people come in and actually register into the event and respond back and go through, we can track what exhibitor actually invited them, so we know if you wanted to do a drawing or something like that. But the Exhibitor Invitations is not a totally expensive product to use on our side. It's a very inexpensive way for them to invite and help you market your event to them. It's a great tool. As you can see here, it's very graphic oriented. It's here. It can have, you know, you can have the sponsored, you can have the exhibitor upload their stuff and things of that nature. But the idea is they're inviting their customers to your event. And we've had people use this for like 2-3 years, build up their attendance. And once they get that attendance built up, they may not want to continue to do it year after year because they may be full. But and they may discontinue it for a couple of years if they need to. But Exhibitor Invitations can be a great way to help the adoption of your technology, help you promote your event, and it's one of the tools that we've used out there quite a bit. And if you want more information on that, just talk to your account managers or your sales reps, and they'll be happy to do that. So what about over on the attendee side, right? The attendees themselves. Let's make them invite other attendees to using your tech as well. And there's a couple of ways to do that, right? Inside of the mobile app, inside of Go Expo, there are places, if you talk to your sales managers, they can show you where this is, or your account managers, they can show you this. But here's just an example here. Check out the app for WEFTech 2015. This came directly out of the phone, and it looks something like this when you set it up. So what you're going to do is you basically, there's a little place in there in the setup screen of the profile piece down at the bottom that says invite your friends. And basically what you're going to do here is you're going to type in that person's email, and they'll get this message out, and it looks like that message that I just showed you before when they actually get it. So that invites them, and you can use this for the mobile app, for registration, for a bunch of different things. It's on both the Go Expo product, and it's over there on the mobile app side as well. And then social community building. People want to connect with other people that are going to the event. We have this on both the mobile app, which I'm showing you here, in our Friends feature. It's the tool that we use on the mobile app side. And it can have the ability for the people to list out as the attendees who want to be connected with at the event, to help promote that engagement, because we know engagement is one of those areas that helps build the return on investment for you. And then this over here on the Go Expo side. This is not a great big screenshot, but down here at the bottom, there's a wall. Over here are people that you might want to know and the connections that you've made. And this is, you can see on the Go Expo side, it's very graphic oriented. You've got pictures of products that the attendee might be interested in over here. So if your event is very product driven, over here, if you're using the Go Expo product for nothing but, we call it Event Express, where you're doing nothing but sessions and speakers and things of that nature, you can do that as well. This whole screen is free-formed. This is a picture of the actual owner of the screen, so we make this very personalized. But the idea behind this is we're trying to build a social community going on within your event to help you with an engagement, help you with that return on investment that goes out to all of the other stakeholders, including yourself. So after you do the adoption of technology, right, I think, like I said, the attendees are at the top of the pyramid. So sometimes I think really what you want to do is entice them to using your technology. And you can always entice them with incentives, and that's what we're going to talk about here real quick, right? So the incentives like drawings and giveaways and t-shirts, you know, enter to win, and I've seen people give away ice cream on the show floor. We're happy we've got a bunch of different tools to be able to do that, from the event management software side all the way over to the mobile app side and even the wayfinders as well, to be able to entice them and do drawings to win to use the technology. Of course, leaderboard systems, we've got those as well. Now, what I want to caution you on the leaderboard side is that this is a delicate system. And if it's not done right, it can actually backfire and go the other way on you. Case in point where we've seen it where people give points out for uploading photos or just using the app, and we don't believe in that. We believe in giving points out to everything that turns into being a return on investment. For example, bookmarking an exhibitor, mapping to an exhibitor, making an appointment with an exhibitor over on the Go Expo side, things of that nature, right? Those will all drive points. But what you want to be careful here is that you don't set a point system up where people can run away with the points, because what happens then is you'll get the top of the leaderboard will look like, you know, 3 to 5 people who are killing it, and then everybody else is way behind, and they get discouraged and they stop using it. And that's really not what we want to have happen in a point system. So we're very cautious on using this particular type of a system to entice people to using the app and adopting your technology to give you a nice return on investment. But we do have it, and we do try to make sure that the point system that you come up with and we work with you on together is one that's going to go ahead and give you a true return on investment, and we're not going to end up with a situation where we have someone running away with it. And then, of course, the last thing is, obviously, gamification. Whether it's a scavenger hunt we build or whether we use our iBeacon product to have people, you know, move in areas and traffic on the floor, whether it's, you know, something where you're pushing, using the iBeacon, we can always push, you know, tokens to people on the mobile app. When they get close to it. We did something with CES a few years ago where we did it like, I called it a Geiger counter. When you were getting closer, it was telling you to the area on the floor that you needed to get to, and when you got there, it pushed a token, and when you collected all the tokens, you were able to receive a prize. So lots of opportunity on the gamification side to help with the adoption of your technology and get a return on investment. They can be visiting exhibitors and getting information there. I know that's one of the things that we're working with on a couple of our different customers, you know, now, and they want to make sure that they're actually even asking a question when they go to the exhibitor and they fill that out. So it's sort of a learning process on that side too. But outside of incentives, there's other things that you can do to entice people or attendees to use and adopt your technology, right? Previewing what's inside of the technology, setting up education for those previews. For example, we've done things, and we're happy to do this. SHOT Show and SEMA do little things where they invite in a couple of months ahead of time people to come into what they call SHOT Show Academy, for example, that I attended. And it was an education session built around using the doing things for helping the exhibitors. And one of the things that I got to talk about was using our technology to help the exhibitors who are, you know, displaying at the show. We can do this for your attendees. We can do this for your exhibitors. There's a lot of different things that we can do there to preview what's inside. And it can be a webinar just like we're doing today to help preview what's inside there, whether it's, hey, let's come in and do some matchmaking on that side, or whether it's just how to operate the profile screen for the attendees. So lots of things to be able to do there to entice people, and really what you're doing is just sort of telling them all the features that are available to them. Then you've got schedule building. People being able to just build their schedules inside of the technology that's there will entice them to be able to get that done ahead of time. Housing information. For some of these people who travel to a bunch of these different events a year, they can't remember, and especially if you move from one location to another, what housing they have. Putting that housing information inside of the profile screen on the Go Expo side, inside of the mobile app side, is something that we absolutely can do. It definitely, just to me alone, that would entice me to actually using the tech because of my traveling and being able to go, oh yeah, I'm staying here and here's my confirmation number. So not a problem at all. Or go out, pick a feature and promote it. You know from feedback, or you should, if not, we can certainly set up, some sort of feedback schedule for you within our technology to get information, but what their pain points are. One of the things we heard was we do a thing called the quick list, and basically it allows people to be able to go in to the mobile app and pick a bunch of exhibitors that they want to go see, and then it formats them based on what we call best path routing. So they tell us where their starting is, and then from there we route them to each one of the exhibitors that they have inside their quick list. Well, what this does is for the person who is on a very tight time schedule, who wants to get there, and wants to see all these particular ones, how we're going to get them from one to the next to the next. If it was a pain point, it was a feature that we picked and promoted. It could be any of those features that you want to pick and promote inside of your technology, and I think that's something that we can absolutely help you with. Maybe we put together a video, and that's something we'll talk about in a second here too. Video is one of the strongest areas to promoting your technology. I'm going to show you an example of that, and then we can kind of work from there. Next, after that, you've got, what's new. If you're using this technology year after year, every year we do something new across the board with all of the tech, and I think it's something that we want to set up so that you talk about what's new, so people get a preview of, hey, what's coming down the pike. Again, these all can work in conjunction with each other. Certainly, with what's new, we can put that inside the preview and education and everything else. And then 365-day-a-year content. We talk about this a lot. I'd like to see it get used a lot more. This doesn't have to be just your mobile app. This can certainly be your event management software. You've got industry information that you want to put out there. It's one of the things we're going to be adding to our playbook later on coming up here that talks about planning for 365-day-a-year content. But if you plan for that and you tell people that it's going to be there, they're going to adopt your technology and use it more and more and more to get that information and the content that you're sort of pushing out there. And then recently we've been adding a lot of content specifically for the user themselves. Inside the Go Expo product, on that screen that I showed you before, is an area where, based on their profile, we're funneling product information to them. We're funneling users that might be more geared towards their interest that they might want to connect with, exhibitors that they might want to connect with, other types of content. We're now doing that same thing inside the mobile app with our Explore screen. So those are great ways to entice people to use your technology, get a nice return on investment from that standpoint. So what I'm going to do now is give a little shout out to Sean Lowry if he's on. I know he signed up for this. Sean was our main driver when he was at NAMM here for this particular video that they did to entice people to use the app. And so I'm going to play this for you, and then I'll come back right after I'm done playing it.
With more than 1 million square feet to explore at the NAMM show, it pays to do your homework before arriving in Anaheim. And the 2013 NAMM Show mobile app can help you do just that. Simply download it from your mobile device's app store, and you'll have everything you need to navigate the show floor. This free app enables you to search for show exhibitors by name, product type, or location, and then download the company's promotional materials. It also features an interactive map that can help you locate all of the different halls and featured areas within the Anaheim Convention Center, such as the venue, NAMM's new lighting and sound showcase, the NAMM University Idea Center, where you can take free professional development sessions, Hall E, which is filled with new products and innovations, as well as the App Pavilion, the new NAMM Member Center, an R&B lounge, and the Anaheim Convention Center's beautiful Grand Plaza, where you can catch great live music throughout the show on the new main stage. With the NAMM Show app, you can also keep track of show events and artist appearances, and check out the entire NAMMU schedule, so you can plan your appointments around the sessions you're most interested in taking. You can even use the app to post your NAMM Show pictures onto the community photo gallery, and check NAMM's social media sites for show specials and last-minute artist appearances, because you never know who's going to drop by. Finally, be sure to bring comfortable shoes and lots of business cards. After all, there's no place better to network and do business than at the NAMM Show.
So you gotta love it. Don't forget your comfortable shoes. That place is huge. You don't have to be a big show like NAMM to be able to do something like that. If any of you are interested in doing this, and obviously they promoted the mobile app, I know that they've done these for promoting other types of technology that they've used as well. If you don't have the resources to do this, and I know that that's a big question mark, as well as how much it's going to cost, what I will tell you is email me. I'm sure Sean will be happy to consult for you on this. We also have a couple of different people who can produce this and provide you with the video. And it's relatively inexpensive. When I say that, is that I've seen people who have done this for a couple of $100. I've seen people who have done this for like $1,000. So it's not a really expensive way to promote. And I want to tell you, people will watch these videos. People will go through this. Firehouse, IAFC did one. ASIS also did one. There's a bunch of others that are out there have done it. And again, they haven't always done it for the mobile app that I've seen. And I know that they've gotten great response. So if you want, just email me after this. You're going to get my email address here. Email me. I'm happy to connect you with Sean and someone to do the video production, but Sean can absolutely help you, from this standpoint here. Okay, so last part here on the engagement side, I want to really focus on this because I think this is where it turns into ROI, right? Engagement is an area that what we've got is if everyone, talks about engagement can turn into the return on investment, whether it's on the revenue side, because you can show an exhibitor that, hey, so many people spent, or a sponsor, so many people spent so much time in here, and look at all the usage, and yours is going to get seen a lot, to, maybe I'm trying to get my sessions all surveyed rather than me doing it on paper. I want to use that tool electronically instead, and me as an organizer, that's a return on investment of my time from that particular standpoint. So let me just go through these real quick. The attendee to attendee tool is our friends feature that is out there. It'll absolutely help with engagement from that standpoint. The attendee to exhibitor tool is over on the Go Expo side. It helps with matchmaking and pointing people to products and connecting with them and building schedules ahead of time. It's a great way to be able to promote things pre-show. Scheduling of sessions, exhibitors, and other events, that can happen on both the, actually that can happen on 3 of our products. That can happen on the Go Expo side from the building piece and then have it go straight into the mobile app, or it can happen on the mobile app side. It can also happen on the Wayfinder side for people who are walking up. They can log in and build their schedules or see their schedules that they built ahead of time over on the Go Expo event management software side and look that up and then log out on the Wayfinder, so they have that capability. Of course, gamification always promotes engagement. Lots of ways to do that. Happy to sit down and talk to you about that and that tool. And one of the biggest tools today that we're getting lots and lots of inquiry on is audience response, ARS, which is more an attendee to the presenter. But if you're looking to build more of engagement to give yourself a nice ROI, our ARS system out there, not only was it built around the idea that you have this phone in front of you instead of using one of those gadgets where the presenter is asking you a question, you're hitting A, B, C, or D. We have that built into the phone, but we also have it built into the phone where they can ask the presenter questions as well, and your software is built around the idea that it bubbles up like questions for them to be able to use. And then if you want to go a step further than that, we've partnered with Conference.io. They have a great product. It's like our ARS on steroids, like the Lexus version of it. Very nice second screen sharing, if you've heard that term before, where they can share the presentation and you can't go ahead. Lots of polling ways to do inside of there. So if you're looking for a product over on the ARS side, I would bound to say that we absolutely have that for you, from sort of the Toyota version all the way up to the Lexus version if you want. Session surveys, this could be a total ROI directly for the organizer themselves, rather than taking paper and months to go through all that. We have the ability to do that directly inside of the app, and even on the Go Expo side if you wanted to. But the session survey stuff here will absolutely make your life so much easier to doing that. It's one of the great tools to be able to help drive ROI. Matchmaking, that all happens over on the Go Expo side, and we have that capability there based on people's profiles and the products that they're looking for or the interest that they have, and being able to do that. I put photo gallery in here. I don't really feel like it's a great big ROI thing, but it definitely helps with engagement. So if that's one of your goals to achieving ROI, it could be the photo gallery. People like to take photos of themselves or other products or things of that nature that's going on during an event and upload it into the photo gallery. Of course, we give you all those photos afterwards. And iBeacon messaging is one of the hottest areas for us today, whether you're using that for your own internal piece, for example, for the people who are coming to the event, when they walk up into the registration area to pick up their badge, if they have the app, we can certainly say to them, if you've already they could get a message on their phone. If you've pre-registered, go to the right and pick up your badge in the express line. If you haven't, go to the left. Or it could be something as simple as, welcome to the so-and-so conference day. The keynote speaker starts at 9 a.m. So iBeacon messaging can go a little step further. You could turn it into a revenue generator to give you ROI as well, something where we could put the beacon inside of the exhibitor's booth and set it up so that people got messaging from there. One of the cool things that we do with this tool is we have the ability, let's say that I buy widget A's and Carrie buys widget B's, and when she walks by the booth that has one of these iBeacons and they sell widget B's, she would get the message and I would not when I walk by the booth. So it's a great tool for giving a return on investment, especially from a revenue standpoint if you charge the exhibitor for that particular piece. And it's also a great way for them to segment market directly out to those people. And then, of course, social media. We have that built into the app, and we can certainly drive ways to, return on investment from that standpoint. So some things to consider. I mentioned this at the beginning. Not everything you do will work perfectly. Obviously, we want some things to work, but we don't want it to be in a situation where you think everything that you're going to do with regards to all of these tools that I just mentioned over on the attendee side is going to work perfectly. It probably won't. But as long as we learn from that, then we can change that up for next year. Every show is different, so everything works a little different at every particular event that we go to. Some things work for some events and some things don't work for others. We're going to help you counsel through that, but I want you to understand that sometimes not everything works perfectly. Start early. I can't tell you how many times we talk to customers and we say, listen, 6 months out is not too early. 6 weeks out is way too late. Can we get the app done? Can we get your technology done? Absolutely. Is it going to be flawless? Probably not. I would say that it probably 98% will be flawless, but the part is that you don't get to promote your technology. You won't get the adoption that you're looking for. You won't get the usage that you're looking for. And that's on anybody's technology. So starting at 6 months, you may say, I don't have my content ready at that point. Well, if you're using our total solution, we'll take all of the content you have. Even if you're using just our mobile app or our event management software, we'll take what you have. But then use that as a tool within your technology to continue to promote when you add new things to it. So if your floor map is not done, if you haven't quite picked your keynote speaker yet, when you do, then use that same technology to promote that it is out there. There's nothing wrong with doing that. People will come back and visit your technology and adopt that more and more to keep coming back to you, especially if you start early like that and not having everything there. They'll keep coming back more and more and more to revisit your technology to see what you've added new. And especially if you use your newsletters and emails and other things to promote that, that'll help you. As I mentioned, using a total technology solution can really help. I won't dive into that anymore. I'm trying not to sound too much like a commercial for core apps, even though we're really promoting our tools that are here. But plan for 365-day content. The playbook that you download today will not have that in it. Carrie will send out an addendum later on with regards to that. We're adding that piece onto it to kind of get you so that it's cyclical for you across the board here and planning your 365-day content. And here's something that very few of you ever do. Share your goals and measurements. You're always afraid of that. Don't be so afraid of sharing your goals and measurements. If your goal is to have a certain amount of people using your technology for matchmaking, for example, and you want to get there, go ahead and promote that ahead of time. Promote that you want to get 30% of your people using the matchmaking side. Promote that you want to get 30% of the people making meetings. Promote whatever the numbers are that you have, promote that. Don't be afraid to promote that. And here's why. I'll give you a perfect example of this. You know how charities have a thing where they say, we're going to raise $1 million, and they have a little float that'll show you how much they've raised to get to that? Same thing here. People want to help. It's no different. And this is one of the things that I know it sounds a little foreign, but think about sharing your goals and measurements with what you're trying to get to. And I think it can help you actually achieve that and get there, because people generally do want to help. Last thing is measuring these. So I pulled up and I put a bunch of different things here that you might want to consider, with regards to measuring. You know, the adoption. It's not all about downloads. Adoption and usage sort of kind of go together here. It's not all about downloads. I say this all the time. If 1 million people download your mobile app, or 1 million people go in one time and use your event management software at registration and don't come back and use it again, and only 100 people or 10,000 people use your mobile app after 1 million people downloaded it, was it a success? And I would say it really isn't. Usage is the key. That gives you the best return on investment. If there's certain particular for example, if you have banner ads that are inside your mobile app or in your event management software, website, any of those particular things, if people are coming in and using it more and more, they're going to see the banner ads more and more. But if they just download it and do it one time, it's not worth it. So what you're really trying to do is show that. On the usage side, you want to note certain areas and features that you want to capture return on investment, like I mentioned, ARS, session survey, things of that nature. Obviously, we can measure revenue. The efficiency side is a little bit tougher, but if you've done things like session surveys, or if you've done other things inside of here to make your life more efficient by maybe using our total solution where you don't have to manage, 5 different vendors and you're down to 3, I think that could be something there. Continued usage, that 365-day plan that we mentioned, I think is one. And then feedback and surveys. People tend to forget about that. The feedback and survey of their website, the feedback and survey of the event management software, the feedback and survey of everything that's done with their technology. And then, of course, if you set a goal for cost savings, this could be another way using our total solution on the cost savings side. So, love this picture over on the side here. Carrie put that in there. When I saw that, I was like, couldn't have been a better picture. Thank you all for coming. If you want to contact me personally, jay@core-apps.com, here is the way to do it. I want to thank you all for coming today. If there's something that you think of later on, please reach out to me. If you want to get in contact with regards to trying to do a video to promote your technology, just reach out to me as well, and I can point you in the right direction. If you have any questions about anything I put out there, you want us to help promote, do education sessions for you, for your stakeholders, we're happy to do that too. Please let us know how we can help you. Thanks again for coming today, people.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.